Hello, true duelists. My name's Craig Fee, and as always, welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Update. A quick bit of riveting news for fans of Yu-Gi-Oh! That isn't modern Yu-Gi-Oh!, who will be attending the Team YCS in Las Vegas on February 24th and 25th, because Konami has announced that the 3v3 tournament will also be offering a Time Wizard team event as well, with teams of 3 each using a deck from a different format. One player will play from a July 2005 list, one an April 2010 list, and one from September of 2011, which in community terms means you've got one player in GOAT format, one player in Edison, and one player in Tengu Plant format. 3 of the most popular older formats and a chance to not play modern Yu-Gi-Oh! For some of you, that's the dream! I do wish Konami could come up with better names than, April 2010 Time Wizard for this sort of thing. Something that they can, maybe market and sell product for. A catchier name, not unlike Standard or Modern that Magic has. But there's just nothing that everyone calls it that they could otherwise refer to it to, so we'll just have to deal with April 2010 format, won't we? Still, it's great to see more love for those alt formats at official events, and speaking of official events, the next one will be taking place not this weekend, but the one afterwards, and that will be the Latin America Remote Duel YCS on January 27th and 28th. Shoutouts to the LATAM audience. You came in full force, and I was pleasantly surprised, so I see ya. I'll report on you marginally more than Konami does, so that's a win in my books, isn't it, folks? And that's it. There's actually, I thought there was more to this segment. There is not. We're moving on. In some regional news from the last weekend, Lampy Yugioh, the goated host of multiple European events, has provided some data from EU regionals this past weekend with a sizable number of tops for Tearlament, of all things. Now, that's not like a huge crazy twist. Tear is still very much a good and playable deck, even at its worst, but it does catch me off guard, if nothing else, that it was as dominant as it seems to have been compared to the other standard meta decks a la Rescue Ace or Fire King and other such decks. And it did get first place at a number of these events as well, with a solid 20% of all tops from across the weekend. Beyond that, I didn't really actually see a whole hell of a lot for Fire King or Rescue Ace, and granted that might be because they simply haven't been recorded yet at the time of my filming this, but it's notable. Is it maybe people looking to enjoy some other stuff before the fire cards from Phantom Nightmare drops, or is it just because by circumstance all the fire decks are the ones that haven't been reported on yet? I don't know. I don't think that this is some crazy sign of a upcoming meta trend per se, but it is cosmically funny that Tears is doing great considering the number of people who simply hate that deck on principle. An honorary Spice Watch will go, of course, to this Kashtira list that was playing 3 copies of Dragon Rulers. Yeah, one of each of the legal at their maximum legal state, I guess. Unicorn is, of course, a wind, Fenrir is earth, and Riseheart is fire. So you've got the attributes to match Tempest, Blaster, and Redox. And then there's also Ash Blossom, Ghost Bell, and Droll. So you've got hand traps of the matching attributes too, which is just it's cool to see, okay? We've got Dragon Rulers getting second at an event. Now, granted, it's literally just Kashtira with 3 Rulers tech did, but Rulers getting second in 2024. That's gotta be something, right? I'm calling it spicy, if nothing else. Talking about some fire. And speaking of fire, let's get to the heated discussion of last week, the contents of Maze of Millennia. Konami's newest set dropped this week and brings with it exactly 2 cards to shake up the metagame, and even a reported reprint for players as well. And I say reported because while Triple Tactics Thrust did receive its first reprint ever in this set, there are some showings that it's being short printed to hell. Granted, it isn't known, and it should be taken with some amount of a grain of salt, but this image is allegedly the pulls from 14 cases from someone in Germany, which shows a mostly equal stack of 10 of the ultra rare cards in the set, and a notably small stack of cards for the 11th ultra rare. That tiny stack of thrusts looks like there's, I don't know, half if you're generous, but I'm calling it a third of the amount compared to everything else. I also did hear that Rescue Ace Hydrant may be short printed as well, but again, there's speculation here. Now, on the plus side, there are no short prints of Bonfire or Transaction Rollback. Is that some level of coping? Probably. In practice, another reason for players to just shit on this product, I assume. The Konami EU Twitter account put out a tweet promoting it, and my god, there's just like 2 things being said, and most of it is, why did you bother reprinting Thrust? So, that poor social media person. And more importantly, poor me, as in literally, as in I can't fucking afford Thrust even at this reprints rate, and therefore this changes nothing. The set's out now, and we'll see where the prices all settle at. My prediction is Bonfire will be like 70 to 80 maybe? Who knows? Maybe it'll go as low as 7. Who knows? We'll just have to see exactly how wrong I am. In some Master Duel news, there's the Theme Chronicle event running until the 28th of this month. Loner decks include a Crawler, Vendread, and Dynamist one, so it's a good time to enjoy some low-tier stuff. Or a boring-ass time with low-tier stuff, whichever your preference is, I suppose. Either way, it's an extra chance to earn some free gems, which you are going to need since the Super Heavy Samurai cards from Cyberstorm Access are now in Master Duel in the new Indomitable Pride Pack. And Wakaushi, Bike, Monk Big Benkei, and even Brave Masuwaro, fuck that up, not fixing it, are all ultra rares, which is at least 2 3-ofs if I'm not mistaken, and of course a hearty go fuck yourself from Konami. Or so I assume. There's also the Gold Pride archetype coming to the game, with both versions of Leon getting ultra rare status alongside their spell card Better Luck Next Time, appropriately named, I'm sure. So if you're eager to see endless combos one more time, I guess you're hyped as shit, because Lord knows that Super Heavy Samurai did not get much time in the sun in the TCG. We've also received the full content for the 2-player starter deck set, a product that's proven to be more divisive than you might initially think. And if you've seen my video on it, you already know which side of the coin I land on, which I still feel I do. To be clear about 2 things out of the gate. 1, this is not a product for me. It's not a product for anyone who watches Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube, broadly I would tell you, and that's perfectly fine. It's meant to be a new player product, I get that. It also does not need to be meta. I disagree with the notion that someone would think that this should be a Manatium core, which is a very backwards way of saying it should not be a Manatium core, all right? Regardless of how many people were desperate for like a peasant rare Calarium for their wallet's sake, it shouldn't be a competent meta deck out of the gate. That's not my problem. My gripe with it at the core is that I feel this is doing the exact same thing that Master Duel's tutorials did, and that it will show you how to synchro summon, it'll show you how to Xyz summon, but ultimately it's presenting a version of the game that's too slow for the modern game. And I know, you need to teach people a slower pace than what modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is. Believe me, I'm currently trying to teach one friend, and I have taught one friend, funnily enough, very similar to what this deck's doing. I made him play Teller and I play Blackwing, and it was both very slow, and just teaching him one mechanic at a time and getting him through the process. I get it. You need to go slower when teaching someone Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it's more complex than it might initially seem. But if you are buying this product, you aren't just doing it with the intention, presumably, of learning Yu-Gi-Oh!, but you're doing it to continue to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Or at the very least, that's what Konami wants from it, because they're not just teaching everyone the game for the fucking heart of it, the passion. They want you buying the product. And if you're buying this, and then you buy a single other product that's currently out, you're getting a completely different game, and you're probably going to be turned away from it. And again, you gotta teach them slowly. This is a complex game, but why are we pretending that 6 useless, damn near unsynergistic vanilla monsters are the only way to teach someone about attacking? Like, is it so insane to consider gadgets to teach Xyz or something? Are gadget effects so mind-numbingly broken that a new player will just look at it incomprehensibly and just die inside? How little do we think of a non-Yu-Gi-Oh player? I swear, some people act like anything beyond attacking with a vanilla monster will immediately fry the brain of an individual. Just have a fucking aneurysm and die. When they find out that Altair can like attack, dead. Immediate stroke. Couldn't handle it. To be clear, knowing the full set list, I don't hate this product. I'm not like, no! I'm just looking at it and wondering what could be done better. I think it could be better. I don't think it's going to fail to teach Xyz summoning or synchro summoning or the basics of Yu-Gi-Oh! I just think it could be better. Like, it's $20 to learn the game, and then after that, you gotta go buy an entire new deck and new cards, because 95% of what you've got here is unusable outside of this exactly, and not to mention those new things you're buying are going to feel like a completely different fucking game. Doesn't need to be imperms. I just mean like Torrential Tribute is at least applicable. Cosmic Cyclone is a better version of MST. Are those so insanely incomprehensible? But maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm speaking out my ass. If you disagree, by all means, let me. I'm not right inherently. I'm just stating my perspective on it. If you want to share yours, go ahead. I'm just saying that the way people have been talking about how the resources to learn decks online could be better, and how that's more the focus of the discussion is what I would like to focus on here. Of just it could be better. Maybe. Fuck it. Probably not. It is Yugioh. In community news, there's been so many lovely topics that got attention this past week or two, from the debate as to whether diverse metas are better or worse to be playing in, the pricing debates I'm sure everyone is only so eager to hear more takes on, and of course the lack of comprehensive guides in Yu-Gi-Oh! For players trying to learn Yu-Gi-Oh! Or a specific deck, especially relative to other TCGs. I may or may not make a comment or a video on some of these discussions if I can provide something actually meaningful to say beyond, so this is happening. Or maybe I won't. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Straight time theft or not, I will fucking figure it out. Either way, none of that is as important of a discussion in regards to the issue that truly matters to this game, and that is the amount of jam on this sandwich. Yes, the community's own House of Champs posted this picture on Twitter, the two halves of a PB&J Sammy, which drew the attention, of course, for the amount of jam on that slice of bread. Now, it's been claimed that this is blueberry jam, and that the berries are simply thicker, making it appear that there's more jam on the bread than there actually is, which is a dubious claim, especially compared to taking the title of Jam Juggernaut from the Game Zone Nim Nim. Personally, I just run with that shit. So let's settle it now, folks. Let's settle it here on the real things that matter. Is this too much jam? Are we being lied to that this is some thick jam and not an excessive amount? We need to know. The people demand an answer. And you know what else people need to know? That they can save 15% off an LIFD magnetic display by using promo code YGOSTRATS15 at the checkout. That's right, folks, it was a segue the whole time. Thanks to LIFD for supporting the channel and providing you with the best way to support my channel and the best way to display your cards. I'm talking single frame, I'm talking tri-frame, I'm talking the favorite cards you own, I'm talking the 3 secrets you pulled from a Megaton. Who knows? It's up to you. The choice is yours, my good friends. And remember, promo code YGOSTRATS15. Click the link in the description to have it apply automatically, or type that in at the checkout and you'll be saving 15% off. Thanks to LIFD for the support as always, and thank you for watching. My name is Gregory Megory. That's not true. I just lied there. So that's it. That's it. I'm a fucking liar. Who knew? Who could have seen this coming? Hit subscribe, please, and I'll see you in Neversville. I'll see you next week.